What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Boost Boswell with the bottom line. Sorry about that. I just had a little technical difficulties. Um, the previously selected topic about long haulers and COVID, going to have to reschedule because I wanted to take a moment and celebrate the life of legendary Bob Barker of The Price is Right. I have put on within the community tab his passing at the age of 99, and quite a few people dropped their condolences and their memories in the comment section of the community post. And Bob has really been a part of so many of our lives, and I think he's worthy to take a moment and just reflect, share some memories, and appreciate the contributions that he brought to the entertainment industry. Bob Barker was a definite pillar in my life during my upbringing. I can remember watching him every day, literally, uh, during summer vacations growing up. And he had that personality that you just would automatically love. And how you doing, Carrie? Welcome aboard. Um, Glad you could be here, focusing on the celebration of Bob Barker's life. The Prize is Right, and I think more times than not, we all have memories and stories about Bob. Um, he was on the daytime networks for many, many decades. And he not only um, was a part of our upbringing, but the upbringing of our mothers and our grandmothers. And everybody watched The Price is Right, followed up by the soap operas. When you look at, just a second, let me see. Um, Wanted to bring my mother on board because welcome aboard, mother. Um, Wanted to take the time to celebrate the life of Bob Barker. I know you're part of the baby boomer generation, and I know Bob was a definite pillar in your upbringing, and he just brings back all those good memories. Uh, when I was younger, and when we was all younger, and I wanted you to come on to the platform and share any memories that you had with Bob Barker. Yes, Carrie, I see. Said you grew up watching Bob Barker. I did too. Mom, you tell me. How did Bob Barker impact your life?
He was a game host, and everybody loved The Price is Right.
Absolutely. So, did you spend a lot of your younger days watching The Prize is Right, or it was just
It
a
came
show
on.
that you was aware of?
It came on every day, and that was just a household show that you looked at 5 days a week.
And followed up by The Young and the Restless and all the other soap operas that also was very prevalent in my upbringing. But when you think about such people as Bob Barker, it's just an automatic respect and acknowledgement of just the entertainment that he brought. It was pure, it was fun, it was family friendly. And when you look at a lot of TV shows and things of that nature that are out there today, there's no comparison, with what he brought to the entertainment industry. And it's just a realization that so much time has went on, but I think the Bob Barker era we will definitely always remember and appreciate. He was a good man, and I just I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge him and celebrate his life. I know some people in the comments had made reference to their mothers and grandmothers watching him when they were growing up. That's one of their fond memories, that every day their grandmother would watch Bob Barker. And when I reflect back, I also have fond memories. And I like to have those fresh memories. It kind of brings back a sense of youth and childhood that is just pure, and uh, brings a jovial feeling to my heart. And that's kind of where I place Bob Barker. When I think of Bob, I just only think of good things. And I wish his rest the best, and that he um, will be remembered to the end of time. Mary, I'm talking to you.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
and
Well,
that's
see, I knew Bob Barker when he was on True for Consequences. Um,
that was before my day. I'm not familiar with True for Consequences.
yeah, Bob Barker. He been on quite a few shows. And one reason why I looked at The Price is Right, because I used to come all the hours here during that time from 11 o'clock until 1:30. That's when I would be done with y'all's hair.
I
But
think Bob Barker, I think he was on there for what? Was it 30, 40 years? It was at least 30 years, wasn't it?
35 years.
35 years.
Yeah.
Well,
And him and Monty Hall, all of those guys back in that day, all of them was good hosts. It's just that everybody wanted to go on The Price is Right, but Price is Right was in the wrong location in the United States in order for us to go on. We're out in California.
right.
So that was being on The Price is Right. Looking at The Price is Right every day was just like being on The Price is Right.
Exactly. And they had really good prizes too. What was the name of that the final hour, when you went up against another person at the end? What was that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, when they spin the wheel,
After the spin the wheel.
oh, I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
know, when the two final people are trying to win a group of the best prizes at the end of the show.
The final showcase.
The showcase. Final showcase, yeah. Yeah.
But I knew, he used to really love his wife, Dorothy Joe.
He never did remarry after her.
He was going with the models on there.
I'm sure he was, but I mean, I don't remember. I'm not familiar with his wife's background. Showcase Showdown. Thank you. That's what it was called. Um, I don't remember his wife.
No,
I
she
knew that
she
she had passed away, but I didn't know any background information on her, and I also knew that he never married again. But
no, he loved that woman.
did he?
Yeah, he talked about her every day as if she was there. And sometimes she would show up and be in the audience. But
What you mean? What you mean in the audience? You talking about it before she passed away?
right,
Oh, okay. So how did she pass away? Do you know?
she had cancer.
Okay. She died at a young age.
No,
Okay.
I already seen a tribute of Bob Barker today.
Did you?
Yeah,
I hadn't had TV on. I actually found out on this internet, and then I posted the announcement in my community section, and it just triggered me wanting to go on to honor him. I actually had a different broadcast topic scheduled that I was going to hit on, and focused on the long haulers, people that you know, suffer from COVID symptoms post, the pandemic, and, just kind of tapping in, checking in on them. But when I discovered the passing of Bob Barker, I think he deserves a moment to be acknowledged and celebrated, because there's certain things in my life when I think about, the past and memory that just brings joy to my heart. And Bob Barker, The Price is Right was one of them. So I switched up the topic for tonight, and I said, let me hop on here and see what's going on in this community, and if anybody wanted to come aboard to celebrate the life and share memories of Bob Barker. And of course, you being my mother, I said, I know you got memories, so I'm glad you could come to the platform.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I appreciate your time.
Yep. So you hanging up now, Mom?
I give you 5 more minutes.
Oh well, I feel so privileged. But yeah.
Yeah, he had he was a karate expert.
Oh, Bob Barker knew karate?
Yeah, good time.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had, I think it was a green belt he had.
Well, great. Black is the highest belt.
Well, he had a black one too then.
Yeah,
But
Bob Barker.
Yeah, and I forgot the name of the movie, but he was in one movie that I know. He was with Adam Sandler.
I like Adam Sandler too.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a comedy.
And
he beat up Adam Sandler on this movie. So yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that was pretty funny. But he's always been a host of a game show.
Who, Bob?
Yeah, he works at Truth or Consequences, Price is Right, and it was another one.
What was the Truth or Consequences? What was that?
It was a game show.
That was before The Price is Right.
Right.
Okay. So do you think is that his name, Jim? It ain't Jim Carrey. What's that guy's name that does it now? Drew Carey, yeah. What do you think I don't think anybody could replace Bob Barker though. Once you done been a pillar on something for as long as he has, just like Pat Sajak, he about to be done with the Wheel of Fortune. Like that's a hard. And your guy, what was your guy that passed away of other game show, the real nice looking man, Mom?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The one that answered the question, the real smart guy, and they had all those
Alex Trebek.
Yeah. It's those are hard acts to follow.
No, they're not.
You don't think so? I do.
Because you go in as you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be them. And just like Drew Carey, I like Drew Carey. I like him just as much as I like Bob Barker.
You like Drew Carey just as much as Bob?
Yeah, I sure do. And I like Jennings that took Alex Trebek place on Jeopardy. I like him. So you don't go in trying to be them. Go in and be yourself. You'll be all right. You'll make a name for yourself, because eventually you're going to forget about them when you look at it.
Yeah, I guess the creature of habit was my point.
Yeah, I have thought about them in years, but nobody will ever be top dog on The Price is Right like Bob Barker. But Drew Carey, he do all right.
Right.
And when Pat Sajak get gone, because Pat Sajak, it's time for him to go. Him and Banner. They've been on there long enough. Let somebody else have a turn, and you'll get used to whoever to replace him just as good as Pat Sajak. Because actually, he done got on my nerves.
Oh. Pat Sajak, I think he's just getting a little bit older in age. It's time for him to enjoy the remainder of his life, I believe.
Yeah.
Just like, a lot of people that get to the age, they don't know how to retire. I think at some point you do need to pass the baton and let somebody else, get situated and kind of acclimated and to carry the torch on. Some of them, they carry the torch till they get 2 days before they get in their grave, and it's just too much time, that they spend in these positions. They need to start bowing out a little bit earlier. So I think anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
Well, if everybody can see it and hear me, why can't I see everybody?
Because they're in the comments. If they comment, I can see that there's 3 people watching.
Oh, okay.
But so what I don't know what you can see on your end, because I'm the one that
I just see you.
oh, you just see me? Okay. Yeah, it ain't I don't see them either. So I just see a number.
Oh. Well, that's just how it is. Bob Barker, he got to live a long life.
Yeah, I think I mean, when people get to live that long, like, he was what, less than a year from reaching 100. That's a long life. And you used to be kind of in awe with people reaching like them late 90s or 100, but there's quite a few people out there that's didn't reach that, that point in life. It ain't as uncommon, uh as it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people, times have changed because there's different food. People have better medical knowledge of how to take care of themselves, exercising. No, don't smoke, don't drink. And if you could, serve the Lord, it's reasons why people live a long time. You just don't live a long time doing stuff that's not good, that's not healthy. That's what I'm saying.
I think they starting to learn more about our nutrition too. A lot of things that we were taught as far as deemed nutritionists, they've done enough research and got enough data to kind of counteract what, all the things that they thought was good
Because
for us.
all the food that we eat is not good for you.
Right.
So now it's a time in life whereas you can read about what's good for you and what's not. Um,
Yeah, like all these years, even though I'm glad I never liked it, but always believing that um milk, dairy products was good for you, and then fast forward, find out it's not.
exactly.
You know,
You know,
and was brought up to believe that it was good for us, and
right,
it's actually very bad for you, which is eye opening.
right. Just like I never liked beets, never. To look at them used to make me my stomach upset, and I finally tried some, and that's one of the best vegetables besides broccoli you can eat.
I love beets in my salad.
I love beet juice. It
Yeah,
makes you
I like
feel
that too.
good.
Yep.
Gives you energy, gives you the vitamins that your body, the nutrients that your body needs. There's a lot of things that uh, I would never even think about eating. As for now, and I eat.
Right.
But they come with the fast food, and everybody live on the fast lane. And that sort of messed up people's diet too. That's why people have diabetes and high blood pressure. It's all about what you eat. Once you can break the habit of certain things that you like and get rid of the bad things that you eat and settle down. Because I don't think that we should eat meat. That's my
No,
own.
they're saying that you shouldn't eat meat.
That's my own personal thought of meat. And I'm getting weird to the point where I try not to eat meat, and if I have meat, fine. If I don't, it's fine. And sometimes I don't want any, and I like the days when I say I don't want no meat today. And I go, days and actually I don't want like maybe a week or so without, eating meat. It's not that I didn't have any, I just didn't want any,
Yeah, I go through that too.
you know. So it's all about taking care of yourself. As long as the best, the the better you take care of yourself, the longer you live.
Yeah, and I think as a culture, as far as African Americans, I think we are now learning how to live healthier lives. We wasn't, we didn't know
Exactly.
what we didn't know.
Right, because for one thing, we didn't have the type of training about food coming over here being a slave,
We got the scraps and the part, whatever was
I
left,
mean,
right?
because you
What
think about it, they gave the slaves the scraps of chitlins. That's disgusting.
Yeah, when you think about what it really is.
Right, and that's and pork chops,
Yeah,
you know, eggs, you know,
it's just so much unhealthiness, and
it's horrible.
yeah, it really is. But I'm glad to see that we are making the right strides forward to understand, what what healthy habits are and implementing them in our lives because historically, we were deemed very unhealthy and overweight and high rates of diabetes. Um, but we're changing all that now, which is wonderful. And and our lifespan will increase, So,
Exactly.
but I think it's still a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of more learning and
Yeah, you have to keep up with new developments because there's something new coming out every month.
hi fishing queen, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. If you haven't, make sure you consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you coming in, just talking about the life and legacy of Bar Barker. Wonderful, glad. Um, and just kind of sharing memories about what's going on. Are you the 15-year-old? I forget what your name is. Yeah, it is. It is. Got anyway, yeah. I think the more that we adopt a healthy lifestyle and definitely we got to be active, um we might be able to live as long as Bob Barker did, reach that milestone, 99 years old. That's a productive, happy life. I mean, he lived a long time and it's a blessing to reach that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm excited to continuously grow and implement healthy life, a healthy lifestyle. Um I like to see when people have reached that particular milestone. 99 years old is it's a major milestone in today's time. She didn't do nothing. I just thought you were her. She changes her name often, and I just figured it was her. She didn't do anything. Um, but yeah, oh Bob Barker. I wonder if they're gonna do like a special presentation um in honor of Bob Barker. I think when people have been out there um doing something to entertain people for as long as someone like Bob Barker, that they should definitely like do something in honor of them, if you will. Um,
Well, see, Bob Barker is all that to
yeah,
you, but Bob Barker ain't all that. It's
he's just a pillar. He's somebody that everybody knows, and everybody has. He's a part of many people's childhood, and they got a lot of memories surrounded around him. No more, no
because
less.
because if he had retired, if he was not, I'm not trying to down him or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to do nothing special when it comes to Bob Barker. Bob Barker got off of TV just in time because if he would have continued to host Price is Right, they would have had him. in that Me Too stuff, sexual harassment stuff.
Who,
So,
Bob?
yeah, Bob. Yeah. So, I doubt if they gonna recognize him because they already have people today, said, host for 35 years, lived to get 99. But Bob Barker, he was just a regular man that had a job that lasted 35 years. And he was fortunate enough to be on TV all that time doing one show. And that's probably,
I think I'm more emotionally connected to Bob because of just because of memories. He was a part of memories my childhood. When I think about, he was just a part of like a routine. Ricky, how you doing? I'm glad you called us. Um, just talking about Bob Barker and memories, from our childhood. Did you grow up watching Bob Barker, Ricky? I think we all did. I don't think it's probably too many people out there, Mom, that did. Hey, Ricky, the guest in the chat, the guest in the platform. This is my mother. I brought her on the platform. My friend Ricky, he live in Alabama, Mom. He likes them Greyhound buses. That's one of his like interests. He's he family around here. Ricky comes to the platform often. Um,
hello, Ricky. Hello,
yep,
Carrie Melvin.
doing. You can see the people.
No.
Okay. Ricky says, "Hope you are doing well today, beloved." Fishing Queen says, "Okay, how are you doing today?" Everybody just speaking to one another. But yeah, um, I think it's healthy to visit memory lane, Mom. I don't know, what Bob was doing in his personal life, but what I do know is I watched him a lot in the summers. Uh, my 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 guy Ricky said, "Hey, Mama Boost, that's you, Mom." And it's good memories. It's good memories. But Ricky, where you been at? I did a live last night with the average logical thinker, and we brought you up. I was like, I wonder what Ricky been up to. And she said, you probably been busy. I said, yeah, we all have. But yeah, I did a live last night, and she actually came on the platform like my mother is right now. Hey, Fishing Queen, I'm glad that you came. Have a good night. And Carrie's also a part of the community. She says, hey, Mama Boost. That's to you again, Mom.
Hey,
Um,
Carrie Melvin.
have a great night. But yeah. And then that's kind of when Bob Barker, and I thought about this too, though, Mom. When he retired, you never heard no more about him. But I guess you ain't supposed to. He was in the limelight all those years. He needed some time, for his personal life, and kind of just fade to black, if you will.
I mean, that's the point of retiring.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like you get so used to, seeing somebody, and you just never hear no more about them. But that's that part of his life was his. He shared his life with so many people for so long that at some point you just gotta take that time and keep it for yourself, if you will. But yeah, that's great. So now fast forward, from back to those days to current day, Mom, what are some of the programs that you like to watch?
CNN.
Just CNN. So you have seen the evolution or transition of entertainment from decades ago. What are your thoughts on programs that's out there now versus the Price is Right era?
The Price is Right. It's still out there. The
No, I'm the original. You know, like how game shows and just TV programs have evolved, or I don't know if that's evolved. What do you call it? But uh,
I actually don't like anything on TV besides cable news. I can't stand the housewives shows. I don't like none of that fake stuff.
reality TV.
Reality. I was getting ready to say, excuse me. Reality TV. They need to take that off because that degrades women. As far as I'm concerned, everybody's calling everybody bees, you know. And then they had a fit when the rappers came out calling women bees. Well, women learn to accept that now on these reality shows. You know, I don't care for them at all. Um, there's, you know, I like documentaries. You know, some people of interest. You know, and as right now, and I'm looking at the cable news because everything on news right now is going to be talked about 300 years from now. You know.
Yeah.
So when it come to when it come to game shows, you know, like you have Let's Make a Deal. That was with Monty Hall. Now
Hmm.
you got Wayne. What's his name? Wayne.
Oh, Wayne Brady.
Yeah, Wayne Brady. You know, you know, he said he's doing a good job. You know, the best of the game show hosts these days to me is Steve Harvey. Whether you like Steve or not, he's a good game host. And Family Feud, and he's been up with Family Feud have had some strong men. Richard
Was it Richard? What was his name?
Richard Barton, Burton.
Yeah.
You know, he, you know, he was the best out of, you know, when it comes to Family Feud. But Steve
But he
Harvey,
ended up, what was that? He had that, end up getting that kissing disease. Because you remember his whole thing was to kiss every woman on her lips. He ended up getting a kissing disease.
yeah, that's what killed him.
No,
And
did it?
yeah, and
Ain't that the truth, Ricky?
um,
And I got your Fisher Queen. She all right. Ain't no big deal. Yeah, I know who she is. She a nice young girl. Um,
but I like when it, you know, it's really, you know, everything's a repeat of yesterday, you know.
right.
So there's nothing exciting out there. So I choose to look at MSNBC and CNN, you know, so I can see the aristocrats get arrested for doing what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another day, another show.
Right.
And
Yeah.
with that, I'm gonna sign off from here. I mean, how long do you stay on here?
Until we ready to get off.
Oh, okay. Well, I can go now, right?
If you want to go,
Oh, okay.
you want me. You want me. You leaving?
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Why you?
You ain't doing nothing else. You can stay on a bit. I
No,
was
I'm
just
looking
listening
at
to you.
TV.
I like listening to your logic. I was sitting there letting you run the show.
I will ask me some questions then because I'm not used to this.
So where do you go? So you just, so now that TV has evolved into this whole other thing, and you said you only like news channels per se. Um, you don't try to find, like, other networks, like, with
Of course
movies.
I do. I look like I told you. I like documentaries. I love history. I love the History Channel. I like anything that I can learn something from. I like, you know. But
Mhm.
with living as long as I've been living, it's, you know, and I mean actually I think I'm living a long time. Um,
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I'm
that
glad you're here, Mom.
there's not too much history that comes out that I actually don't know about. The most thrilling thing to me is that I have lived a lot of history in the time of, you know, history, and that makes a difference. Just like today, with 60 years the walk on Washington, Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream. A lot of black people didn't even recognize it today, as they should have, you know.
We got a question. Ricky has a question for you, Mom. He says, "Where are you originally from, and where did you grow up, Mama Booth?"
Okay, I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, and I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
So born and bred in Dayton, Ohio. What is the historical fact that you know about Dayton, Ohio? A lot of people might not know about Dayton, Ohio.
Well, I mean,
The
what
right,
I know, well, you know, the Wright brothers, Paul Laurence Dunbar,
yeah.
you know, all of the, you know, Dayton, Ohio was really a town for inventors. You know, you got Charles F. Kettering, Patterson, NCR guy. You know, everybody that lived on I've been here so long I
I'm
forgot the
from
street.
Ohio, Fishing Queen. Yeah. I didn't but that is true, Mom. You just trigger some Dayton, Ohio. Um um Another question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be, Mama Booth? I know one place it ain't Ricky, and that's down south. But answer the question, Mom.
Oh no, I couldn't live down south neither. But it's
No, the question is I answered a piece. I answered where you would live. He asked where would you? He said, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Dayton, Ohio, because because I've been around. You know, I did some traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no place like home. Anybody that leaves Dayton, go to California, Las Vegas, Atlanta, you name it. Eventually, they're coming back home. You know.
So hold on, Ricky live in Alabama. I told him during a different live that I got a sister that live in Auburn, Alabama. Talk about Alabama. I
Now,
already told Ricky, ain't no way. Some places I just can't live. In Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi, they got their own laws. Texas, sometimes I think I can live in Texas, like Houston, but some places I just don't. I can't do it because it's almost like going back in time with the Ricky said, my home is Alabama, but this ain't my stopping point. Yeah, I told you, I think I told you before on a different live, Ricky. I said, get out. For real, you gotta get out of
was
Alabama.
he born there?
Yeah, his home place, he was born. I think he's still in Alabama. He just he said he gotta get out of there. Oh, he said he loves New Orleans. My mother lived in Louisiana too, Ricky. But I know she don't like Alabama.
No, I don't like none of the South. The South is a totally different world to me, and it's strange. And for the times, I was in Alabama for like maybe a year because I lived in LaGrange for a year and a half. You know, but I would ask the people. It's just that it's just totally the people are different. The black people down there are totally different from the black people up north. You know,
And what's the biggest difference when you say that? That from your experience?
culture. It's just like to me, black people down there don't know how to take command like the black people of the north. You know, they'll have a discussion with a white person and let the white person be right even if they wrong. You know, whereas Northerners, we can break them down. You know, just because you said don't mean nothing. Your thoughts are no better than mine. We're just different. The black people of the North is just different than the black people of the South. That's why if you're born into the South, it don't bother you. But see, I didn't know nothing about the South, and when until I went there,
I know that's right, Ricky. Go ahead, Mom.
well, you made me lose the thought of man. But no, I couldn't live down in no Alabama. That's the worst. Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, all three of those together It's the most racist place that you could ever live on earth.
Hmm.
And this is my opinion.
I
This is
think I think Mississippi, because I think that's still the headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan, I believe.
and Alabama is too, and Arkansas is too,
Oh, okay.
and, Louisiana is too. Texas, the only reason Texas, those people. When I was in Texas, I mean in Louisiana, and I live right at Texas. I don't like the way I just don't like black people living in that part of the country. It's not that I dislike the black people. I just hate because they had to go through the things that they go through dealing with the white people of the South. And see, the white people of the South, they talk about the Civil War as if it was yesterday, you know?
Ricky said Mississippi ain't my bag.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible the way that the
Gary
blacks
said
are
we will
treated.
correct you exactly. Like I know, God rest my father's soul. When my sister moved down there to Alabama, he sent a couple guns with her, shotguns, because he knew how she ran her mouth, and he told her to watch her tongue because it's a different culture.
Of
But
course it is,
he said,
because
but he
for the
sent her with a
time that
couple.
I was down there, this man, he told me, he said, we better send you back up north because they be done found you in the river with the gators, you know.
Did you see that brawl that happened in Montgomery recently?
What?
When they that group of guys had jumped that black guy, and then
Oh, and he threw his hat off and said,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then what did they do? What did they do? The man that came along with the cheer, they prosecuted him. And
Well, other people got arrested too, though.
yeah, but he had no business being arrested. He was coming to help the man to keep all these people off of him. You know, just like the two cops in Mississippi beat, when 6 of them went in there and beat those two guys up. He even put the gun in one of them's mouth and shot the black man in his mouth, but it didn't work. It wasn't his time to die because the bullet went in his mouth and came out his throat.
Mm,
You know, and this just happened.
I ain't familiar with that.
Yeah, that's real. You know, and like in Texas, they abortion rights, you know, and I'm not for abortion. Not me. I'm pro-life,
I'm
you know.
pro-choice.
But they you know, they trying to change the voting rights down there, Florida, taking all the black literature, books and things that black people wrote for black people. They
Well,
taking them off sheriffs.
Trump
Sheriffs.
unleashed a evil that made people feel as if it was okay to be racist and ignorant to that level, and it's just an unfortunate thing. Ricky says, my white neighbor tried to mess with me when I first moved into my new place. I checked him tightly. Now we have no problems whatsoever. Get along. Yeah, and that's the thing. You gotta let them know up front. Nah, I'm not the one to play with. People will test you, and if you don't address that, then you could live in a life of hell.
It's a lot of black people need to be like him down there, but it's so many that's not. You
Okay.
know, I seen with my own eyes how some of the black people down there are still scared of white people. You know, suck up to them. You know, I said I got it. I have to shut up. I got to get out of here. And when my landlord, when I was down there, she asked me, she said, don't go. You know, you can stay another year. And I said, no, it's time for me to go. I've never wanted to leave a place, and I was doing fine down there. But I just didn't like the environment. And it was just time for me to go. I wouldn't have no problems living a regular life, you know. But
Ricky said they bring me gift cards and everything.
yeah, once you get them and they fear you, it won't be nothing that they won't do for you. But you get in some trouble with one of them, they'll go get their buddies, and it'll be 15 of them on you. You won't never get to tell the story. That they can't be trusted.
Oh, I just seen something that came out about a sheriff in North Carolina. I was gonna do an article, I didn't do it. they had an interim sheriff. It was already some accusations against him, but they caught him on the recorder, and he basically was saying every last black employee, like gonna get rid of them, and um he was saying some racist things, and that brings about a point, because whoever did the article, they brought about some points like these are people in critical positions. I mean, it's the sheriffs of the county, and he talking about all the black employees and calling them names and talking about getting rid of them and just all this other stuff. I mean, it's terrible. What it's always been there, but in my opinion, Trump made it very comfortable. He set the stage for people to come out and be their authentic selves. And the good news is, at least I know. At least I
Well,
know.
just like today, the white guy went down there in Jackson, Florida,
Mhm.
and went in the General Dollar store and shot and killed those black people. See, it's getting out of hand, you know.
I haven't seen. I haven't
Yeah,
heard.
this happened just today.
And what happened?
A white guy went down to the Dollar General and went in there with a gun and a clock and killed 3 people. You know, he was getting ready to kill up everybody, but the police killed him.
And see, that brings about that guns. I don't care. I know a lot of people are like, oh, pro gun. It ain't the gun, it's the people. We the only country that have as much issues that we have with firearms. And I don't care what nobody says. Yeah, God bless their souls. There needs to be stricter regulations
You don't
on
need those
firearms. Yeah,
rifles.
we don't need that. I mean, people have
You
enough
know,
firearms to start a war. Like, why you need all that?
because that's exactly what they plan on doing in time to come. Because, as I say, and I repeat myself, uh,
Repeat yourself, mommy.
we're living in the last days. The book, if you read the book of the Revelations of the Bible, you'll see everything that's happening now is beginning to show.
Yeah.
Daily, I got a cramp in my leg, and wait a minute, hold. Continue to talk. I gotta get this cramp out of my leg.
All right, but I definitely think there has to be some regulations when it comes to firearms. I don't care what nobody say. You got all those people that's a part of that. Help me in the comments, y'all. What's the name of that group? ARA, the ARA. Uh, that always want to speak up, saying it's not firearms, it's the people. But I just think it's too much firearms out there.
Yeah, you don't need these rifles. Those rifles are meant for war times.
Yeah.
What you need with a, what is that, RK, R14 or 15, whatever that rifle is.
AR.
I don't know what it is.
NRA. That's what it is, Ricky. NRA, yeah.
But it's just terrible. I mean, just look at how they took over the Capitol.
Yeah. And I think, was that you that was telling me about that one guy that had that big horn and that had on, how he was so remorseful when he was sentenced and in jail, and then as soon as he got out, he got as arrogant as he wanted to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, AR-15 assault rifle. You must own a couple of them down there, Ricky. You own your accurate names.
Every black person that lives in the South need about 15, 16 of them. Because it's not safe down there without a gun, for real. Just like in Louisiana, they catch you in their yard, they can hang you on it by your neck on a tree. We got
when you lived in Louisiana, how did you like it?
For me?
Yeah, I know you do, Ricky. Okay. Carrie said she got a Ricky said he owned a couple, and Carrie said she got a CCW. All right. That's the times we living in now.
Yeah, everybody got guns.
Yeah. I don't agree with what DeWine did though, making it legal for you to carry without any license. So basically anybody can carry. DeWine, he just trying to do anything so he can stay popular in office. He another one that need to go.
All of them need to go.
Yeah, for real, they need to clear house. It's time for younger people to get in these positions and start really.
Exactly. They shouldn't have let all these people that's in Congress and Senate is 80, 90 years old. They can't think no more. They just up there. The only thing we doing is voting for these white people to get those positions and making them six-figure checks. And once they become millionaires, then anything goes. How can you have somebody like Trump? How could it have gotten to the point where we had a man like that running the United States of America?
Ricky said they changed the law here in Alabama so you don't have to be licensed to carry firearms. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened in Ohio.
That's why all the states got to be like that, because there's too many states that are changing the laws.
It don't
By the
make no sense.
time
You can't regulate. You can't regulate when you don't have to have no paperwork. So they don't know what people got, and anybody, mentally ill people and more, can own firearms.
Exactly.
It don't make no sense. It's a recipe for destruction, is what it is.
They set it up for there to be the third World War. And people think that it'll be countries against countries, which that's how it's going to jump off, because China want to take over the world.
So what do you think about China combining their money with what? Africa, Russia, to reduce the value of the American dollar?
That's sad.
You think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
So they saying that it would be comparison. We would have to have like 55 American dollars to their $1 if they combine their currency.
Right.
And they saying like they supposed to be doing this in December.
Yeah, this is getting ready to happen.
We won't be able to buy nothing.
But the United States, some old bald head white men not gonna let that happen.
How they gonna stop it though?
I really haven't read up about it. I don't know a lot of history about it. But a white man is not gonna let China take over their money, because that's the only thing that gives white people strength is money. They'll kill their mother over money. So don't even worry about it. They'll go to war. They'll kill themselves before they let another country come in here and take over their currency. And you can believe that.
Well, it's a lot of I know you like to research stuff and Google it. You might want to research that and see what's going on out there in them streets, because I didn't came across a couple articles and videos referencing that. So something going on. Something is definitely going on, and it's concerning. But China been making a lot of strides lately to like position themselves to be stronger. China, well, after
They want to take over the world.
They've been wanting to.
They want to
That
be
ain't
the
nothing
leaders.
new. Huh?
They want to be the leaders of the world. And I can remember when the Chinese was like dirt dogs. I never did like the Chinese. I've always liked the Japanese, because they're smart. Chinese people are not smart. Japanese people are smart, but the Chinese, they Donald Trump. They Trump kind of people. They'll do anything to take leadership, and that's exactly what they call themselves. If we could control their money, then we'll be able to control them, and then when we be able to control them, we can control everything and everybody. It ain't gonna be that easy. It'll be a war. It will be a war before the white people let that happen.
Well, something is circulating now where Africa, China,
All of them are going in
I think
cahoots
Russia
together.
too, huh?
You know,
It's like
you know.
it's 3 to 4 countries supposed to be combining their money, in which it'll make the American dollar be devalued. Gary said if Trump says it's cool, it's going to happen.
But it's not gonna happen. And anything he say gonna happen, his time is up. This is a man that never knew how to accept being in second place is okay. He always wanted to be first place. And whereas he's a chump. You know, I don't understand how our country can let one man do the destruction that he did. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised myself. I wasn't pleasantly surprised. I was shocked. I mean,
So
the
because there's
highest.
people here that's that's in high positions than the president of the United States. You know, those are the people that really run this country. We don't know who they are, but trust me, they're out there. And
The
Trump,
family, they got a Netflix documentary on like who really runs the White House, and it's a lot of powerful older white men that really they have, and they behind the scenes, but they are the ones that have all the power,
you
that's
know,
really running the country. It's called The Family. It's a documentary on I don't know if it's still on there. Probably is. I watched it over a year ago on Netflix. It was actually a very interesting and educational.
and
Um,
they sent Trump in there. They allowed him to get in there because they had certain jobs they wanted him to do, and he didn't do them. So that's why don't even worry about it. There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of propaganda that I just don't even pay no attention to. I don't believe everything I hear, uh, and because like I said, read the book of Revelations of the Bible. It'll let you know what's to come in the future.
so that's a great segue to another question I want to ask you if you're up for further engagement.
Go ahead.
What is your thoughts about these younger generations, the millennials and the Gen Z that are coming up and that have no spirituality?
That's a sad situation. You know, I don't understand it. But these kids are today. They got their own way of thinking. They're totally different from any generations that those two that you mentioned that I've ever seen in my life. They don't know how to comprehend. If they don't get their way, then they really don't want to be bothered with it. I really can't answer that
No,
because
it was good. You said if they don't get their way, they don't want to be bothered with it. And it's the truth.
you know
The
because
level of entitlement.
they just told you they weaker but wiser.
Oh, I like
I,
that.
I just put it
But
like that.
I agree with that. They definitely, yeah, I would second that. I like that. I'm about to use that. They weaker but wiser. And they are. They like to throw a rock and then hide their hand. Um, it's definitely so where do you think we went wrong? How did they get this way?
Kids raising kids.
I agree. These are byproducts of so my generation was the generation of teenage pregnancy. And here we go with these kids. And then and they have this term out now called gentle parenting. So basically, some kids need their tail whooped, not in an abusive manner, but some kids need to be corrected. And this gentle parenting and with the how much exposure these young kids is coming up with, I don't like it's a recipe for destruction. I don't believe in harsh corporal punishment, but I do believe in the correction in the error of your ways. And sometimes gentle parenting ain't gonna get that.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
The worst thing they did is when they took prayer out of schools.
You
You
know
know,
what? I read the article about her. You know, the lady that actually went um to Congress and and got the prayer taken out of schools, somebody end up unaliving her later on. She caused a ruckus, and I think she was atheist too. Um, she ended up getting unalived. Fast forward at some point in her life, I never knew the story about her. Something triggered me to want to look her up and kind of read her story, and I found that fact out. But you are absolutely correct, Mom. The first major mistake was to take prayer out of school.
You got so many kids that actually don't know what religion is, don't know what God is. They'll say, "Well, I believe in something," but how uh, uh, about uh, there's a God? You know
Yeah.
how He's real. They question everything. If you don't put it up in someone's face, they're not going to believe that.
And I
You know,
think that's why, so you got no religion, and then sexuality is all over the board.
yep.
So it's like it's such a major disconnect between generations, and then they have the highest rates of depression, anxiety, and unaliving themselves, that you don't really know. It's so many things that you needs to be addressed, and you don't really know where to start. And then, like, they know, they know so much. um you can't tell them nothing.
Mm-mm. They scared, but you can't let them win now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it at the end of the day, God has to step in and intervene. And once the Lord comes through the clouds, it'll all be a different story.
So being a grandmother of millennials and Gen Z, um, and a parent of Gen X, do you see a major difference from your children that are Gen X versus your grandchildren that are millennials and Gen Z?
Yes, I do. That's why I let y'all know. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me, because whatever y'all say, I think, fine. You know, I love everyone, humans in my family. I love them all, but some of them I can't stand,
Mm-hmm.
because I think they can say stuff, and, I don't get it. How can they think like that? But each generation is totally different. Pooter, my youngest granddaughter, is totally different than the ones is in their 30s now. Granddaughters that's in their 30s now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different generations that you ever want to see. I would have thought that those generations would have been similar, but uh, my youngest granddaughter
Millennials and Gen Z.
is nothing like whatever you just called them. They're totally different.
And you said, so the millennial, you thought that your millennial and Gen Z granddaughters would be more similar, but they're actually a stark
Nothing like. Nothing
difference
like.
between them. Yeah.
Mm-mm. They don't have no problem with telling you about anything that you ask them. You know, and, you could ask personal questions
Now,
to
which one is the older granddaughter or the younger?
the younger. The younger ones don't have no problem with asking anything you ask them.
Like,
You
can you
know,
dive into that a little deeper?
yeah. Ask somebody 18, 19 about sex. They'll tell you more about sex than you ever know. You know, and then the ones that's in their 30s, they would hide that from you. Say I'm not having sex.
So Gen Z, from a baby boomer's perspective, which you are, your perspective is Gen Z. They're very comfortable and transparent with expressing their sexuality versus
Right,
the millennials are more conservative and discreet.
right. Because of the Gen Zs, is that what y'all are?
Yeah, that's the youngest generation.
Okay, the younger generation,
Mm-hmm.
they ain't got no problem with saying, yeah, I'm gay. So what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
And whereas the ones in their 30s,
So can we have a grown people conversation here real quick? Can I ask you a question that's I mean, we've talked about it before. Um, Let me just ask it, and I don't mean to offend, and if you don't want to dive into it, that's okay, Mom. But
okay,
I'm going off of the teachings that you raised me and my sisters under, being that you have 5 daughters. You raised us with the mindset and drilled us. Don't be out here sucking no D. What is your thoughts um, about these younger generations and their sexuality? Because that was instilled in us. Don't be out here doing that. And now these younger kids, like when you start to speak about the Gen Z, um,
you know what their
they're
answer to
very
that
comfortable.
is?
I'm sorry,
You know what their answer to that is?
enlighten me.
I don't have to worry about getting pregnant.
That's their. Are you saying that's their mentality?
That's their mentality. Because they don't have no problem with letting you know they doing it.
They sucking the D.
They not ashamed of that. It's just like that's a part of sex to them. And I know I know that just by listening to quite a few comments coming from the younger generation, the Gen Zs.
So basically, what I'm hearing from you is you came up in an era which you passed down to your children that certain things should not be done in the bedroom, and now you have these younger generations with are your grandchildren that don't it's not even something that's forbidden, it's something that is just it don't even mean nothing, it's common, and oh well.
Right. Just like the day will come where they get in a car and the car drive itself,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's already going on. Them what do you call those Teslas? They driving themselves. They got that in those Teslas now. Actually, it was um in
It's,
Alabama, in Auburn or Montgomery, real this past prom, very attractive young black guy and black girl let the car get away from him because the boy programmed it to drive itself, and I don't think he knew how to turn it off, and it ended up running into a semi or something. And they both became unalive. But yeah, them cars already driving themselves.
but just like who pick kids, babies born today, they don't have to go through learning about a computer. They automatically know.
Yeah, I mean they
You
know.
see, times can change, whereas everything is just click, 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 fast, 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 and that's why we're running out of time. That's why we are running out of time because everything's moving too fast.
It really is. It's troubling to see how swiftly um and how it seemed like things changed just like overnight. We went from one extreme to the next. Um
And that's how it is because time waits on no one. And one thing for sure, time don't stop. You can manage anything else, but you can't manage time.
you can't manage time. Time gonna manage you.
Exactly.
So you made a point a little bit earlier in a nutshell about the younger generation. So basically you're saying your children, which are Gen's X, we did a piss poor job with raising our kids.
I can't say that,
I'm just speaking theoretically.
but actually, you didn't know how to do it.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that's right. I'm sorry. I put words in my mouth because we were kids. We were young. babies having babies with that era.
It was, I could have been a better mother to my kids, but I didn't know.
Yeah. I actually did um 2 videos about a mother-daughter relationship because a well-known content creator, her mother was feuding, and I kind of outlined the realities of generational, and just how we were raised and the struggles and dynamics of a mother-daughter relationship that went viral. But that's actually something we can plan if you'll be open to it. Like what I've come to realize being on this internet is this it's a lot of young ladies out there that's hurting, that have strained relationships with their mothers. And they don't really understand their mother's history or background. And maybe we can bring that topic to the community. You can kind of give some insight, perhaps, if you're open to it at another time, that we can kind of dive into and walk through lessons learned, maybe share some wisdom and best practices that we can pass on to you know people within our community and our culture, because it's a lot of strained mother-daughter relationships, and unfortunately neither one of them is doing anything to heal that, and it's a lot of broken families, and um a lot of pain that ain't being addressed, and it just creates toxic environments. And one of my main focal points is educating the minority communities about mental health, because I went through some personal struggles, and as I learned, I just think I have a responsibility to share um my knowledge and wisdom that I've gained, and encourage others to seek help, because let's be honest, mom, you know we wasn't raised to understand and to deal with mental health, and depression and anxiety, the mentality of toughen up and shake it off. Did nobody go get any emotional help? It was like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you, you better snap out of it. And sometimes, unfortunately, there is instances where, hey, I can't snap out of it. I need some help and I don't know how to address it. So to bring that to the community, to understand kind of the history from your perspective as a baby boomer, and fast forward of what you think today, versus how you were raised in uh the mentality of the African American culture back, during your upbringing. I think it would be a gem and a blessing to kind of share some of that with the
Well,
community.
I can make it plain and simple.
No, I want a
My,
whole conversation, but you can make it plain and simple. But we're gonna talk about it another day too.
maybe if you tell me what I can and can't do, then I'm hanging up.
Well, I want you to, but go ahead, mom.
Look, my mother come from a mother that come from a mother that probably was a slave.
Mhm.
So that the
So you
slave,
saying your grandmother was a slave?
no, no.
Yo, what?
My grandmother could have been part of the slavery because
Okay.
slavery ended in 1865. So she was brought up in that environment, even if she wasn't.
Hmm.
As a little kid, she was brought up by slaves. But my point is, that's where all the mental illness come in, because everybody has been raised by somebody that didn't know what to do because they never been taught to do anything. That's
Hmm.
why the slaves got beat like that, and then when they became free, they used to beat their kids, because they thought that was the way of making things right.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. I get
So
upset when I think about all the
you know,
abuse and
so
trauma they endured.
uh, it's a sad situation, but that's the way it is.
But it's
But
generational traumas after generation of abuse and trauma. And
and the kids these days, a lot of people just gave up. You get tired, and you let the kid win, and once you let the kid win, then they gonna take control of their life,
Take
and
control. Who is they? Are the parents' life?
no, of their own life.
Okay.
They gonna start doing exactly what they feel like they need to do. Nobody's listening to nobody. Nobody's sitting down at the dinner table no more, saying grace and having a meal and conversations. People don't do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lack of communication around the world. And that's why it's so corrupt out here. Nobody listens.
So these little kids, what's your thoughts on how they being raised by your grandkids? That your grandkids' kids.
They being taught, whereas if they don't have if they don't have what they want, they're gonna go get it any kind of way they can. They taking it.
By any
Nobody's
means
learning
necessary.
responsibility. You got so many people out here that's not responsible.
What do you
You
mean by
know,
not responsible?
taking care of themselves, going out and making a living,
Oh, that they've been used to giving
respecting
everything.
other people. These
Gotcha.
kids, they're not being taught that, you know. And the ones that is being taught that um, is far and few.
So
It's not
basically, these kids is being given everything they don't know, and I'm just summarizing. You can correct me if I'm wrong. They've been
they
given
don't
everything. They don't have any accountability or any self-respect or respect for others, any humility. And if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna get it anyway, but I ain't gonna work for it and I'm gonna get it by any means necessary.
right.
That's scary.
That's how it is.
Yeah. And I had mentioned that during a different live, how some of these younger kids like to hear a child unalive one of their parents is like unheard of, that some time ago, but it's not as uncommon. I mean, it's not common, but it ain't uncommon either. It ain't no shocker no more,
Right.
and that's scary.
I mean, just like those kids that's running in stores, is just running in the store, stealing everything they want.
Carrie said spoiled and entitled.
You know, out there in California.
Oh, I saw that. It was was it a Gucci store or something?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
hit they hitting the top end stores. You want to be rich, fine, but I want to be rich too. You got the opportunity to make the money to make yourself rich. I don't. Go fill them shelves up, cause I'm coming in with my crew, and we're taking everything we want. And that's what they doing these days. A person can't even go out and make a living behind stuff like that. How is there gonna be jobs where kids coming in the store and stealing everything? Can't be no jobs because the stores gotta close.
Yeah, I saw that online too. I
See,
mean, that
everything
was
is that
bold.
we living in the days of last day. Everything is just terrible. Nobody has no control. Nobody, like as I said, the magic word. Nobody listens.
Nobody listens.
And with that, I'm gonna close it up, Kalisa.
Yep.
And,
I enjoyed you, Mary.
yeah.
Thank you very kindly for hey, average logical thinker. We got Carrie and Ricky. I think is Ricky still, yeah, Ricky's still here, I believe. Welcome aboard. Y'all, this my mother. She came on the platform today. I actually had scheduled live. I was going to talk about COVID, post COVID and long haulers, kind of seeing what's going on. Hey buddy R, welcome aboard. um Logical thinker said, hey mama, you got a shout out, mom.
Hey, back.
And we got Buddy R that's in the room. Welcome aboard, buddy. Was talking about, started the conversation about the passing of Bob Barker. and kind of going down memory lane, and I wanted to kind of bounce some ideas off my mother, within the aspect of her history with, having Bob Barker on the network for so many years, and just kind of going down memory lane. And then we started getting out. Actually, mom, y'all logical thinker, she actually, I gotta go and check out her channel, but she was she had entered the live yesterday. We did a live yesterday, and she said she was gonna upload some information focused on young badass kids, and that's what we was talking about, kind of her perspective, um with the different generations, like her kids versus her grandkids, and just her perception of all the different generations, and kind of where did we go wrong, or you know where these generations are headed versus from the era where she was raised. Which, mom, you hit on a lot of key points. I definitely think, but like you said, and I kind of understood that, um absolutely, you know babies raising babies, and and then too, so if you got babies raising babies, and then you got the mother daughter dynamic that has a strained relationship, then the mother can't even really support the daughter in the upbringing of the grandkids because of the strained relationship. So she can't even course correct from lessons learned from raising her child to pass on to her to raise the grandchild better, because they don't have a good they don't have a strong enough and a healthy enough relationship for her to give the daughter feedback.
That's true, but these days, people give you the kids. They ain't got time for it. They want to go to the clubs.
So the younger generation, though, it's a little thing that's going on, that's surfacing the internet. A lot of these young this is kind of funny, mom. I uploaded a video on TikTok about it. A lot of the younger generations, the millennials and Gen Z, Taria's and Pooja's generation, uh basically saying that the grandmama and the aunt ain't worth crap because we don't want to watch their kids.
Kids too bad.
Yeah, I'm scared of them.
You know, you can tell it. You can tell what type of child it is. Only thing you got to do, take the cell phone from them. You be on shaky grounds, on dangerous grounds, taking a cell phone from kids these days. You know, when you tell one to go to bed, they go upstairs and climb out the window.
And they scary, and they scary.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. Um, but I think, but the thing about it though, mom, it's a big debate with these kids that really are offended that the my era don't want to watch their kids. They like really they pissed for real.
They looking at the duties of what a family should do, whereas they're not willing to be a part of the family. They want to do what they want to do. So if you gonna keep my kids, but now they got so many things that uh, young kids can do when it comes to not wanting to uh, get my daughter to babysit the kids. You know, because the daughter saying, "Nah, I'm going out to the club too." You know, and so don't nobody have no time for the kid. That's where the problem come in. Everybody on the go. Everybody got to move. That's
So that generation, so basically these young kids that's coming up, they raising themselves. because they mama at the club.
Right. Or
That's
either
scary.
take, yeah, that's scary, or either take you to the fire uh, station.
What's at the fire station?
If you don't want you, if you and these kids these days, if they can't get nobody to babysit their kids, they'll take their kids to the fire station and say they don't want them no more.
Oh, drop them up at the safe place.
Right.
Logical thinker said the cell phone and TVs is raising them.
Exactly.
That's scary. And
You
dropping them
know,
off at the um yeah, I'm just repeating. So is logical thinker. She said, "Mama said dropped him off at the fire station." It's true though, ain't it, Mom?
yeah, that happened.
And they do drop, but you know what? It's better that they do drop them off than kill them.
They'll leave them in the car. They be out there in the parking lot. Kid the other day was overheated. Left in the car for 8 hours.
What, in Ohio?
No, I don't know what state it was.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big debate that's going on on this internet right now with these like these younger generations. They're really pissed at my generation, basically, because we don't want to watch and raise their kids.
No, those are your kids.
Yep.
But they don't understand that. Nobody's obligated.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like that level of entitlement, that's a real thing. Like that's a serious thing. It's like that mentality. Like I don't know well, raising them and giving them everything, and they not having to work towards getting the best of what their parents could buy, and didn't have to work towards getting nothing. That's an unfortunate dynamic that we being faced with in our culture. And then you got a lot of these kids, they so grown because they parents, they meant emotionally immature, and kids talking to you um like they your equal, little kids cussing and doing everything else, and it just breeds an unhealthy child. And the parents sitting there laughing about it.
Yeah, that's sad to me.
Yeah, me too. I don't condone that kind of behavior. When I see those videos, I leave a comment and make sure I address. That's not cute. That's bad behavior, because you got a child that's emotionally not even, their brain ain't even developed enough to be exposed to just all that toxic behavior. And then next thing you know when it's time for them to be productive kids, to follow rules and to be a part of a system, like in school and stuff, they don't, they're out of control, they can't be handled.
Incorrigible.
Yeah. And bad and dangerous. That just like that little that little kid was in the kindergarten or first grade that shot his teacher.
That's sad.
Yeah. But I think it comes to a point too where you have to start holding the parents accountable. When you got a young kid that's in elementary school and junior high stuff that are doing these just outlandish things, at some point I think you got to start holding the parents accountable.
Yep.
I think that's going to be the greatest impact, when you start holding parents accountable, because there ain't no way some of these kids that's in elementary school should be wilding out like they are, and the parents don't feel no repercussions. It don't make no sense.
Sure don't.
They said, that's logical thinker said, that 6-year-old that shot his teacher is in my city. Oh wow. Now the kids got clear backpacks paid by the district. Oh wow. So now kids got to go to school with those transparent see-through bags because of that child. That child still, did anything happen to that child's parents?
Yeah, the mother got arrested.
She did. Wow. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. They say, I heard it growing up, and now I feel it immensely. Like, I would hate to grow up, and I would hate to be young in these times. I would hate to be grown. Growing up in these times. Yeah, a logical thinker said the mom got charged as well. It's
Well,
unfortunate.
I really enjoyed myself, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for coming on the platform. Again, uh, Bob Barker. We got off in a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's the beauty of having organic, authentic conversations. You never know where they might end up going, and
Right.
I appreciate you
I'll,
coming on the
I'll,
platform.
I'll come back again.
All right, I appreciate it. Logical thinker, let me know if you want to come on the platform. You can go ahead, click off, Mom. I appreciate you being here.
Okay. Tell everybody I said have a good evening.
They heard you.
Okay. Good night.
Oh, they said thanks for coming, Mom.
No problem.
All right, love you, Mom.
Love you too. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, Terry.
And let me know if you want to come online, logical thinker. If not, I'm gonna just down a few more minutes and then I'm gonna close it out. But
How do I get off?
let me
Oh,
see.
I see it. I see it. No problem.
All right.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, Mom. Um, yeah, got you. Hey, I hear you there. I just I'm only gonna stay on a few more minutes then. But yeah, we went down memory lane just talking about Bob Barker, and it kind of transitioned from, all of our childhood and upbringing regarding, where we was at in life and memories of coming up in that era where Bob Barker was very prevalent in our lives to current day. So that kind of is how that segue happened, and just kind of dissecting and assessing where we are, with the many different generations. I thought you was gone, Ricky. Um, Hey, and you too, Ricky and Carrie, if y'all ever want to um come on the platform, let me know. I'll send you a link. And logical thinker, like I was telling you earlier, Ricky, she came on yesterday. If y'all want to be a part of the conversation, Ricky, let me know, and I can inbox you the link to come on. But it seems like more and more like people that was pillars in your life, it's just a testament of where we are. Time ain't waiting, like my mother said earlier. Time ain't waiting on none of us. And oh, you at the gym? Hey, I need to get to the gym. I'm about to drop me 20 pounds. Look, Ricky, once I drop me 20 pounds, y'all ain't gonna be able to stand me. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Um, Ricky, what part of Alabama are you? Montgomery, or what part of Alabama are you in? How far are you from Auburn, where my sister at? But yeah, we definitely got challenges. Logical thinker, did you upload your video regarding these young kids? I got to get over there and look at that. But there's definitely a lot of well, it's mostly on TikTok that's going on regarding these younger generations that are bitter at their parents. Um I don't know what that's about, but I do know that shoot, like you when you asked me not too long ago, Ricky, like how to date in the 40s, I'm still like I ain't gave up on love yet. I still got a shot at love. I might be able to find me somebody. I can't be babysitting your kids. They got more time than I do at this. Shoot, I'm a hopeless romantic. I ain't gave up on love yet. 20 pounds, you can lose that in 2-3 months, Sister Boost. Yeah, I'm trying to. I've never heard of Lakeview. What major city is that close to, Ricky? Um, Yeah, I'm not gonna be stuck. Shoot, I just got through raising my own kids. How I look? Then I'm gonna come back and watch yours. No, I need a breath of fresh air. I need a breath of fresh air, and not that don't mean that, I won't watch your kid, but it ain't no. The thing is, I think what they don't understand is ain't nobody signing up for that to be a routine in their life. Like, if it's emergency or you got something major that you okay, I got family in Birmingham. Um, Something major you want to do, but just because you want to hang out in the streets, on the weekends, no, I'm not that chick. You gotta find somebody else to do. Get your money up so you can hire a babysitter. You know, and a lot of times, let's be honest. I think we're just now getting to the point to where families are, starting to have the parents be more responsible for their kids because a lot of grandparents raise their grandchildren and and never really truly lived their lives. That Madeir, that was a real person, throughout our history. You know, um, I ain't signed up to be Medea, and I ain't gonna be her either. I'm 47, and people are always telling me to have kids. Well, I mean, you still a young man, Ricky. I'm 2 years older than you. Um, and that's actually rare, Ricky, that you don't have any. Most men, it's rare to find a man that don't have any kids. And being a man, you have the opportunity to you know, to have kids for a long time. Women, they trying to hang in there, have kids in their late 40s and 50s, but I don't recommend it. But again, it ain't my business. I know I ain't one. That day been done. Um, but yeah, Ricky, I mean, you could shoot, you could have shoot. I forget who those um yeah, right, Carrie, especially a black man. Those older men that they celebrities. They like in their 80s, and they married to young women, and two of them, I forget who they are, but we was talking about them having kids like in their 80s. I don't think that's fair. Like if you in your 80s, yeah, the mama might be in her 30s, but well, you know why she having the kid anyway, but still, that's still not fair to the child to be having no child and you in your 80s. It's unethical in my opinion, and the child ain't gonna never know you. Um, you'll be long gone by the time that child. Al Pacino. It's one more too, Carrie. Al Pacino, and who is the? It's somebody else too. Um, it's wild. It's wild, but it's the reality. Do you want to have kids, Ricky? I actually didn't want to have kids. I got 10 years apart because I watched my sister's kids at a young age. But when you think you're in love and all that kind of stuff, yeah, Robert De Niro. Those are the two. See, y'all on. I knew y'all come through for me. Yep, yep, yep. Look, Ricky and Carrie playing uh tennis match. Okay, yeah. But you're gonna have to get a younger woman. Your your age group, a lot of them chicks is past childbearing age. Some of them women though can still have kids, but a lot of them hit menopause. Yeah, I not if you don't want to a worrisome life. And that's the key. That's the thing that people got to understand, Ricky. It is so important to have kids by a healthy person. When you have kids by the wrong person, it could just turn your life upside down and ruin it. And I've seen that happen to so many people. It's a sad thing. You have and especially a sorry person that they ultimate goal is they lazy, they don't want to work, but they want all your money. And they will go they work harder at getting your money than they do trying to get a job. And that's a real thing. And I have drilled my son on that. I said, be very careful with who you have a kid with. I said, just think about, I said, can you afford for half of your check to be gone? I said, and then the chick still want more. I said, if you can't afford that, I said, don't trust her. I said, the nicest girl tell you she on birth control, or I said, and don't let her pass you a condom. You have your own. I'm too old for baby mama tears problems. I know that's right, but hey, it's out there. Rick, yeah, you too old for it, but guess what? It's out there. I know somebody right now that had a baby by an older guy, and he wasn't looking to have none, but unfortunately, you lay down with these younger chicks and you not protecting yourself, you gonna have, it's in her hands whether or not you have a child. You gotta and at this stage in my life, like, don't nobody want those problems. You know what I mean? Um, and but it's a reality. It's a yeah, it's a reality though. You gotta be wise, at this stage in your life. Because what people don't understand, like, working out here in corporate America and, you know, just dealing with day-to-day life like that, when you start to get in your 40s and 50s, like, all the struggles in life happening to you, it starts to hit you in life, and then you mess around and get with a no good baby mama. Oof, you ain't gonna never retire. So Ricky, we encourage you to be very careful with all of that. um some guys, they never do bounce back when they make the wrong decisions. um I know I had seen a live on that Facebook dating show that the Kendra G hosts on all the platforms. It was a young chick. Well, she wasn't that young. I think she was in her late 20s, early 30s. She had like 4 fat kids. All of them was by different men, of course, and she was living out her car. Now, how you gonna be on a dating show looking for a man, but you living in your car? And then her last kid, all the kids was taken away from her. The last baby father was in his 60s, and basically the state took them kids, some of that, drop them off at the fire station. Ricky says, I'm not trying to get off of child support, and I'm 64, 65 years old. Heck no, yeah. You just becoming free. You send your last thing, you get your last notice. This the last check uh that you gotta send in for child support. You gotta be very mindful and know who you dealing with. And that's one thing, like that young girl that's going viral right now, Morgan, that's focused on the had a baby from a random man in Atlanta. None of them chicks at the end of the day, they had babies because one of the other baby mamas came forward and kind of did an interview live, about her situation with the same guy. He got 7 kids by 7 different baby mamas. And the truth is, as you start to understand uh these girls, all these girls that had babies by this one particular guy, a lot of these girls, they didn't know that dude like that. They didn't know him well enough to have no baby. And then several of them was pregnant at the same time. So that says that they was just sleeping with a guy that they didn't really do their homework on, and he ain't having protected sex with none of them, and or nor is he responsible for any of them. So you got 7 chicks out there basically that had a baby with a guy that they didn't really know, and wasn't responsible enough to get to know him and look into his background, and more even beyond his background, spend enough time with him to get to know him and keep your legs closed until you are at a stage to where you can validate and you really know who that person is. But it's a stark reality and an unfortunate truth that they situation ain't the only situation. There's a lot of them out there, like that got kids by um a man that they don't even really know him, to be honest. But they ain't ashamed either. They come forward and tell their story just like it's nothing, you know, and it's not, and just as much. Yeah, was that guy wrong? Absolutely, he reckless. But let's be clear: the mamas are reckless too. You know, you can't sit up there and just put on a guy. You know, you slept with a guy that you barely knew and let him impregnate you. You know, that's just a truth that is happening. And then when you start to see a lot of these chicks, so you got a guy that's got 7 babies by seven different mamas, but let's be honest, you got chicks out there that's got 4, 5 babies with 4, 5 different daddies, you know. And a lot of times these chicks don't know each other, and or they don't care, and so you got siblings um that are out there that could cross paths and they don't even know that, hey, we related. It happens all the time. You know, with that random man from Atlanta situation, shoot, they thought it was only 6 baby mamas. The seventh one just came out this week. So if it's 7, then who's to say that it ain't even more? And the thing about it, none of these chicks knew each other. So the likelihood of their kids crossing paths, hey, he don't look like he was resourceful enough, or you know, his money was long enough to where he was. I know he took her back to Michigan, but I'm sure the majority was in the same, you know, vicinity. Like he didn't seem like he was a world traveler. So a couple miles down the road, you know, you have your brothers and sisters that you can cross their path, and you have no idea that we got the same daddy. And I'm looking at you and you looking at me, and we ain't looking at each other because we look alike. We looking at each other because we might be attracted to each other. That is how a lot of terrible things can happen. Got to know who your folks are. It's a small world. Just as much as people believe it's a big world, it's a small world. You know, these people need to understand who they related to. You know, like that movie that was fake, but it was actually a good movie, and it's a lot of normal people's I mean real life people's stories. Flowers in the Attic, brother and sister. You know that these things do happen, but we have to. It's all about self-respect, though. When you don't have self-respect and expectations and boundaries in place, self-worth, then you lay down and you have these babies by 3, 4 different men, and ain't nobody accountable for them. And then these kids coming up with absent parents, and the mama's still looking for a man, so ain't nobody raising them. And now you got these entitled kids that they don't have no love for their mama, and that's a real thing. Um, if you're not a part of the community and you appreciate this type of content, real life, authentic, honest, straight up, and just being supportive and engaging mature minds, and I invite you to subscribe to the bottom line. We talk about many things, but ultimately we are a collective supported community. I'm a middle-aged black woman telling the truth about struggles I had emotionally, from stressful work environments and toxic relationship that ultimately landed me into therapy, and was one of the best decisions I ever made, because that strong black woman mentality, shake it off and toughen up, is killing us. Um, and I speak out to encourage other people to adopt a softer, more healthier lifestyle. We can get our point across without all the aggression, and um, being supportive to one another is our most effective and best option. And that's what we're all about here. So I invite you to subscribe to the channel and join the conversation, because a healthy life is the best life. And in order to get to that, you have to become honest with yourself. And in order to get real and healed, you got to look in the mirror and say, I'm done with lying. That's what I did. And it saved my life. So I invite you to join me in my community. of family. We have become a family. The people that are in this audience today, I feel like I know them personally. And we're growing, and it's just a loving, supportive experience. And you don't want to miss out on something so positive. So, if you haven't, please like the channel. Hope you enjoy the content. Okay. Oh, you left? Okay. Yeah, Ricky. Uh, I'm sure, and you know what, Ricky? I know you a rarity. I know I know women. I know they drop when they find out that you are a middle aged black man with no children. But let's be honest, Ricky. I know you get it. I know you hear this because it's just second nature. What do you say to these women when they ask you, "Well, what's wrong with you? Why you don't have no children?" Because I'm a black woman, and I know they have asked it. It's no way that they haven't, because that's the mentality. I want to know, Ricky, what's your response to those women when they ask you that? Because you are a rarity. Yeah, I know they be shocked. Um, I tell my son that my son is 29, and I tell him all the time how much of a rarity he is, because he doesn't have any children and he doesn't have any tattoos. You know, his generation, they full of tattoos, and I start instilling that in him as a young boy when I started seeing that that was a trend, and more guys was coming up getting tattoos. I said, well, if you want to be different, I said, I'm telling you, don't get any tattoos. I said, because when you get older, you will be one of very few without tattoos. And mostly all his peers that he know and that he interact with, everybody got tattoos but him. I said, I told you, buddy. I'm glad you listened. I said, now you a rarity. I said, everybody ain't like you. Exactly, Ricky. What do I say? Are you the right one for me to have one with? If so, tell me why. No, I want to know, what do you say to these women, Ricky, when they ask you, why don't you have any children? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why don't you have any kids? Yeah, has any woman ever asked you that, Ricky? What's wrong with you being in your late 40s and you don't, your age bracket, and don't have any kids? You know, because we go from a guy that don't have no kids to they having seven, and they all by other women, and to come across a man that don't have none, they looking like, okay, probably like, I just thought about this. You know what? In today's time, depending on her age group, the first thing in their mind will think that, oh, he must like men. You know, oh wow, that's rare. Um, that's rare because you rare, Ricky. But yeah, you got to protect that, because that's a precious position to be in. It's priceless. You can't. It ain't no amount of money that you can put on that, Ricky. You don't have any kids. You know, that's just unheard of. But yeah, the right one out there, one that ain't trying to take every dollar out your wallet. Um, there's plenty of good women out there that we know. Ricky said, I have never really set out to have kids. Nah, they never have viewed me as a, what is that? Tamberton? Man, I'm not familiar with, I gotta look that up. Ricky flipped it back on him. Yeah, you gotta flip back. But I'm shocked though, Ricky, that ain't nobody ever asked you that. Uh, Most women, that's just how they are. So good for you. What does that mean? Oh, tambourine. Got you. Okay. Um, yeah. Ain't that the truth though? To come across a man with no children nowadays is a rarity. And you know what the thing was? I always wanted um to have kids with a man that didn't have any children, but it didn't work out like that. It didn't work out like that at all. Um My mom just sent me a text and said thanks for inviting her. She enjoyed herself. Trust me. Now that she see how it flow, I'll be able to get her on here often. Just long as I have topics to talk about. But I think she can definitely offer some insight to the community. So I'm excited to see how I can develop the platform. You know, where she can contribute based off of her generation. Hey, I want to hear their thoughts. You said you want to hear their thoughts. Yeah. Hey, look, the times have changed so much. I want to hear their thoughts. Um, People's thought process just ain't what it used to be. Ricky said it works like a charm. Y'all, yeah, that's well. Well, anyway, y'all, what I'm almost at the 2 hour mark. I definitely enjoyed y'all. I'm actually I want to see how I can kind of pivot. I'm trying to find some new ideas um to bring to the community. I definitely want to start tapping into Ricky, and maybe you can contribute to that conversation. If not, I mean, in the comments is enough if you don't want to come on the platform, but dive into how do we date in our 40s, because I think for me, I think that's a challenge. Like I'm really focused on an authentic encounter, but I still feel like it's a challenge to meet people, and I want to get some kind of input and guidance on like what does dating look like, effective dating look like in our 40s outside of the internet, and you know, kind of open that conversation. Because I would like to date. I haven't been on a date in a while. You listen. I ain't dated in several years, about 4 years. I don't even know how to date now at this point in my life, but I don't want to give up yet, y'all. I'd be willing to come up and discuss that if you do that. Absolutely. It ain't if the topic's gonna happen. Um, I want to what you talking about, Ricky? How's what? Um, I want to dive into that topic about dating in your 40s because it's a real thing. And I'm not at the stage in my life to where that's a pastime. Like, I don't think I'm not at the point to where I don't want to date anymore. I haven't dated in several years though. Um, but I want to date, you know. Uh, but I don't know. I don't like what's I want the truth. Like, get feedback and honest input on how is the dating scene for us in our 40s. Like, what are the stark truths? Like, what's our reality? Oh, yeah. Um, I don't know how it is, Ricky. I want to understand it. I ain't dated in so long. It's been over 4 years. What I've been out of a relationship, a long term relationship. It ended in 2019, so I haven't dated since 2019. Um, yeah, it seemed. But you know what I realized? So the average age gap that I've dated, customarily the guy is like 5 years older than me. But what I come to realize, like they wasn't even mature enough. I said, shoot, I always dated like 5 years my senior, but I should have just probably dated my age because them guys, they wasn't you would think they would be more mature, but they ain't. And I ain't at the stage yet in my life where I want to date somebody 60, you know? Um, so it's like what's out there, or like what's the realities of dating in your 40s and 50s? Like, is it like, a thing of the past? I mean, you got a lot of people that's old and immature. Like, what's going on in these internet streets, y'all? Ricky said, just got to be the best version of self and see what happens after that. We attract what we are. Yeah, you're right about that. Um, so what? Yeah, and that's the truth though. But look, I don't want to date like I dated in my 30s and 40s. Actually, my 40s dating started in my 30s, and it spilled over into my 40s. Should have been cut off in my 30s, wasting my time like that. But now, like my mother, when she was on this platform earlier, talk about time. We don't have that kind of time. Hey, that's like that's like fighting words. If you think you're gonna come mess with my time too valuable. I don't play with nobody in my time. Y'all said I went on a date with a 55-year-old. He had diabetes. Cow. Lord have mercy, forgive me. I don't want to go to hell for laughing and recovery. Lord Jesus, help me. I'm sorry, y'all. I should be laughing. She said, and recover from shingles. What the hell was he doing on a date? He should have been in some kind of uh therapy and recovery center. Well, wait a minute, yo. Uh girl, AJ. We got AJ in the house, y'all. Welcome, lady. How did y'all? So what y'all just sat up there and talked about his health conditions during the whole day? Hey, AJ, you missed if you would have came on a little bit ago. My mother was on here about almost 2 hours with me. I brought my mother on the platform. We started out talking about Bob Barker and his passing and just memory lane, and then it kind of developed in a different conversation as time went on. But I'm glad you made it. Now we just kicking back to our usuals. Me, Ricky, uh, logical thinker, and I think Carrie, you still out there? Um, but I mean, yo, did you find out all that about that man on the first date? I don't even know how I would respond to something like that. I'm sitting there on the first date and this guy going through all his she'll be back, um all his medical conditions. That's terrible. That's why I take fitness serious. Yeah, I got to get out there. I lost over. I gained weight working remote in the pandemic, and I'm like, oh no, I got to get this weight off because that's not who I am. So I'm not looking forward to going back to the plant, but going back to the plant 3 days a week, that's the only way it really forces me out the house because you can really get stuck in this house, and I got stuck up in here and start putting on weight, and my physical frame is not for a overweight person, and it don't feel good. Um, so that is so that if I am blessed enough to see my 50s and beyond, I still look good naked, and I'm in optimal health. Yeah, geez, gee whiz, ain't that the truth? And look, then this the truth. Listen, this grown folks talk here, y'all, and ain't no disrespect to nobody, but ain't nothing worse. Like, I'm conscious to the point to where, if it's ugly, it's ugly. And people be walking around here thinking they sexy and they out of shape. Like, it ain't sexy. Like, it's just not. Boost, he was so sweet. Took me to the casino and gave me $40 to play. Well, that is sweet. He gave you, $40 to play in the casino. He a big spender. Yeah, exactly. A friend. That's all he is. And still go back again so he can give you $40 and play the penny machine so you can stay longer. Everybody telling you hi, AJ. Um, what they say, logical thinking. Yeah, don't cross him out. Yeah, for real. A good friend is a good friend. Uh, but wow, he had a lot of conditions. He need to focus on his health, not a relationship. That's just as bad as that topic we was debating about dating homeless men. I don't care what nobody say. There ain't no reason why anybody should be running around here focused on a relationship and you homeless. Everybody need love, but I can love you in a different way. I can love you to help you get your life together. I don't gotta lay down and sleep with you. That ain't it don't make sense to me. I don't get it. But the goal is to feel good and to look good. Yeah, naked. Absolutely. Listen, y'all, and I ain't no like surgery chick, and like I don't want um to change my like any fake artificial parts, how they manufacture they bodies. Okay, I'm glad you're still here, Carrie. I didn't know if you were still here, but I said, like after I lose all the weight that I want to lose, I said I might want to get my boobs lifted, not fake boobs, but you know how they lift your boobs up so they don't be hanging as low to your waist. I said I might consider doing that. No artificial parts, just like I need a little pick me up, if you will. I'm thinking about that, so we'll see. Got to get my weight to where I want it to be first. But that's for me though, because I know how I like to look in my clothes. I know how I want to be for me at the second stage of my life, and then you know recovering from the stage of traumatic depression and anxiety, and then the pandemic, gaining weight. Just like a lot of things happened to me in the last 4 years, and it impacted my mind and then my body. With gain weight and just health issues, and now I'm getting back strong. I'm like, I want that second half of life to look and feel like I want to feel. Yeah. But yeah. What you talking about, Carrie? Um, this guy told me I look good from waist up. So I told him from head to toe, he looks tore up. He walked away. Hey, Jay, yeah, you got to tell him. And then the thing about it, some of these people be toe up. This is current day because I didn't watch some of these dating games. AJ, you told him straight up. um, They be wanting somebody that's got a six pack and fit, and then they walking around with a fupa. Everybody telling you, hey, AJ. You want somebody that's got a flat stomach with a six pack, but you walking around with a toolbox, tool case hanging over your toolbox hanging over your tools, or you got a fupa. It's unrealistic, but you got a lot of people out here that because they bought into though that mentality of uh women are desperate and they do anything for a man, because I sit back and I excuse me, I watch some of these platforms talk about relationships. Hold on, excuse me, y'all. And some of the expectation is excuse me, it's ridiculous. It's like, look in the mirror, look at you, look at me, and make sure it makes sense. And not that I'm anybody, but if I'm out here and I'm trying to take care of myself, and you running around here, you ain't even brushing your teeth, you out of shape, and you ain't even like your hygiene. Like, what about me said that I would want to date you because I want to correct that. But people have that mentality, and quite frankly, and ain't nobody better than nobody, but there's certain it's offensive. Like, I'm not going to do all this work trying to maintain and sustain myself, and you think just because you a male, I guess, that I want anything. No, I don't work like that. I know a 40-year-old woman who had a breast lift. She said she solemnly swore that she wouldn't turn 41 with the way her breasts were starting to say. Yeah, that's what I want, a breast lift. I don't I want that for me, you know. But I don't want like, and that ain't add nothing to your body. Like a lot of these people that went out here and had like these surgeries, and had BBLs and fake implants and all this stuff, and everybody's body looked the same, and it looks ridiculous. Um, I don't want any of that. I'm just like, girlfriend, I want you to sit up. That's it. We got to start asking ourselves, would we date our exactly? And a lot and but that's the thing. You got a lot of people out here that ain't being honest with themselves. Like, what makes you think somebody want to date you? You know, you got black lips, you smoke cigars, your hygiene isn't optimal, you haven't made good decisions in life. Not that, we all don't have struggles, I didn't have to rebound in my life, but I worked hard you know, to take care of myself. But then I'm gonna just get with you. You ain't got a car. You ain't never and I know a couple men this way. I haven't dated them because I have had certain expectations when it came to a man, but they ain't even how you gonna be in your 40s and you ain't even never had your own place. Like, and then it goes back to what I said a little earlier. Chicks getting in these relationships with these guys and you don't even know who you dating, but next thing you know you pregnant. It don't make sense. 1 + 1 = 2. And it don't, a lot of them. Oof, I don't know, y'all. Why you retract your message, Ricky? We saw it 6-pack tank. I'm 47 with a flat stomach, thank God. Hey, you mean you don't got a toolbox over your shed? Is that how they say it? A shed over a toolbox? A shed over your toolbox. A shed over your toolbox. I'm 47 with a flat stomach, thank God. It is work though. I know it is. I haven't spilled. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I see a lot of people that have just let themselves go and they out here taking all kind of full body selfies as if they look great. And but more importantly than that, you got people in the comments lying to them. And I ain't saying I'm all for like encouraging, supporting, motivating people for real. But truthfully, truthfully, I don't believe in lying to people. I don't believe in lying to myself. I know when I don't look good. I have said it many times. I was like, I ain't posting pictures. I didn't gain weight and I don't like what I look like. I got to get weight off. Like, I got to get up. I got to exercise. I got to do this and that. I know when I don't look good. I don't need anybody to lie to me and tell me, oh, I look good. No, I know when I look good and I know when I don't. And sitting there lying to me or me saying, oh, girl, you look good, or guy, you look good and you look a hot mess. Like, that's it's wrong. You shouldn't lie to people. Like, for real. Like they said, better, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. Don't say nothing at all. I prefer don't say nothing at all before you lie to me. It's bad in our community though. We have to be honest. Yeah, I know it's bad. I seen and what you see on this internet, and they just be lying to these people, something terrible. And these people look awful. Dead awful. And I'm gonna tell you something else that I think is awful. Um, I just found out what mukbang is a couple months ago. A lot of stuff I'm just getting caught up on. When these people sitting around here gorging this food like that, like I understand you gotta get a paycheck, but it's such an unhealthy behavior that at some point, like you're responsible for what you put out in the world, and to sit there to be supporting somebody to gorge food to the point to where it's gonna catch up with them, like, because it's a very unhealthy practice. Like, it's terrible. No, my belt buckle shows when my shirt is tucked in and nothing protrudes over my clothes on my waist. Oh, so do you got a six pack? Don't look, Ricky. Don't be in here showing out now. Ricky in the comments showing out. Ricky said I couldn't do the hot. A hot dog, please. Yes, I watch some and it does. Um, I think I think, to be honest, at some point it becomes dangerous for real. People don't realize how much damage they doing to their body, and I learned that in my 30s when I started to get gas acid reflux that turned into a gastric intestinal disease. Like food will kill you, literally. Food will kill you. And I don't play with food. And to see people just sitting down there woofing food, and I mean it ain't like you know eating like a little bit, like you woofing like a whole cow. It's nauseous. Hey, I'm here to help and assist anyone who wants to lose fat. Yeah, well, you have to give me some tips, Ricky. I'm actually gonna start. I like to walk more in the fall. I'm gonna start doing my walks. I used to do a lot of walks. Um, that's how I used to keep my head clear, and I would record videos that way. But I kind of got out of it. But you gotta push yourself back on track. So that's something that I got to do. But absolutely. And the thing about it, exercise, when you exercise, you always feel so much better. You would think that it's just a hard discipline. But again, like when I was talking to my mother on the platform earlier, yeah, I do intermittent fasting. We got to do a lot of that. When you ain't raised that way, it's one of those learned behaviors that you got to constantly reset and redo and keep, trying to develop that habit that transforms into a way of life. Yeah, that intermittent fasting, and that's the whole thing. And I also saw some, which I never was one that like ate um 3 meals a day. Like I can't. That's too much food. I felt sick to try to eat like 3 meals a day. But but yeah, people act like they'll die if they don't miss a meal. You can stand to miss a meal. Push away from the table and set this one out. Set it out. Yeah, see, so eating clean is how I'm able to keep my GERD under control, my gastrointestinal disease. Um when I eat clean, I don't need to take any medication. If I eat fat, fried food, very spicy or saucy type food or tomato based, I'm sick as hell. Sick as hell. And it's to the point to where I don't play those games. Ricky said water intake and proper rest. So I have struggled with water throughout my life, but I definitely do better with water now than I ever did. And I don't drink like sodas and things of that nature. We got hey, the Brits is in the house. Nomadic Brit, welcome aboard. Glad you can make it. Uh just a group of middle age people that we didn't come together enough to where we family, and we cutting up just talking about life and in general supporting each other. Mental health. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you in a safe place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and uh become a part of the community. um Y'all said me and my son only eat twice a day. I tell him you have to let your tummy relax for, yeah, exactly. It's too much food for me. I get sick. um I've never been able to eat 3 meals, not unless I want to be sick. We can't that's in the Bible, that gorging. I look at that as gorging. Everybody showing you some love, nomadic Brit. Glad you're here. We actually got another Brit that is a part of our community, Joseph. I went live yesterday. Joseph was we actually, me and y'all logical thinker, we spent a lot of time uh showing love and ministering to Joseph. He lives in the UK, and we was on about 2 hours yesterday with him. He's a part of the community. um Even though I'm older than everyone, I'm a Brit here. Is the U.S. How you older? Don't you might not be now. My mother, she was actually on the platform. She was on here for 2 hours, um, just a little while ago. She just got off. You just missed her. She hopped on and was here with us for 2 hours. And my mother is in her 70s, so I don't know. I can't do broccoli no more. Doesn't sit right on my stomach all of these years, and it just started doing me like this. Really? I think, yeah, some people What it give you? Does it become gassy in your stomach or something? Rick. I mean, yeah, Rick. It says just a truck driver making America roll. All right. My son wants to be a truck driver. I actually got some nephews that are truck drivers. Um, Make sure you stick around, become a part of the community. We growing this community of real people, real people. Um, what you laughing at, Carrie? I was brought up that all ladies are young. Oh, I got you. That they don't share their age. Oh, you okay? You we all in the same arena. We all Gen X up in here for the most part, from what I know. You we all in the same generation. Nomadic. Broccoli makes my stomach feel heavy and aches. Got you. See, that's what happened to me. Like I can't eat fried food is absolute no. Uh, and greasy and spicy food, like foods that are tomato based or real saucy. Like I love Italian food, but it's a lot of things I can't eat. Like you said earlier, Ricky, I stick close to clean eating. When I eat clean, I feel good. My stomach is not upset. So and I accept that because when you eat those bad foods, it take the turnaround time. It ain't no joke. Nomadic said, "Don't ask the woman her age." Yep. I agree. I agree. But I know some women that lie about their age. I'm not that one. I'm happy and blessed to be 49, and I hope to be like Bob Barker from Price is Right, 99. So you know, I'm not insecure in that way. But I agree. That's just like the rule of life. It's rude to ask a woman her age. I thought I could whatever I wanted to while in Texas, but that heat was heavy food. But that heat with heavy food had me vomiting. So yeah, never, and that's real. Yeah, hey, yo, you should have known better. You in that heat and you eating that heavy food, you probably felt like you was carrying a pig around and sweating like one too. I don't play them games. Food will kill you, like I said earlier. Like that's a real thing. And the thing about it too is, I thought about so when they put all that stuff in like meat and stuff, all those hormones and stuff, that's why like a lot of those young girls started to become developed real early, right? What y'all think about, and that was the thing, like how all the young girls was really developed, and how these babies coming out now and same day they born and the day after they holding their head up looking around like a Martian. What's that about? They call them COVID babies. I don't know what you call them, but I know that ain't normal. How you holding your head up looking around and you ain't even 48 hours old? Oh, I know. That I'm telling you, food is it's dangerous. I don't play with food because food didn't play with me. I ended up in the hospital in my 30s. First time I ever got sick dealing with food. And I've been um and once you start getting those conditions, it ain't no turning back. You either gonna eat clean or you gonna always be taking medicine, trying to mask all those conditions and pains in your stomach until they take you on out of here. So if you want to live a healthy life, you got to learn how to eat clean and like Ricky said, move that body. These babies are involving in the womb. Yeah, it is scary. I know I seen a video about a baby. It was just born and it was looking around, looked like an alien. It scared me. And I ain't even a scary person. But the baby was so new and looking around like it was 6 months. I felt eerie. I lost my youngest brother at 43 2 weeks. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. 43 2 weeks ago. Life is too short. Make count. Prayers up for your brother. May God protect you and offer you peace and healing. Um Condolences. We get one shot. That's all we get. We only get one shot of life, and people out here playing. Um, and it's just not. It's not anything to play with, and I don't play with life. That's why I speak out about mental health awareness and trying to educate the minority community in regards to your mental health and how to manage and seek help if you need to, because the mind ain't nothing to play with. It's the engine to all. And you have a lot of people that's out here that's emotionally unhealthy, and they're doing nothing to address it. And those that are in the background, please consider subscribing to the channel. Um, be the best you can be. Absolutely. Yeah. And no catfish. Listen, it's a lot of things that I won't eat. Um, it's not. It's about becoming whole, healthy, and wholeness. Mind, body, and soul. You know. Um, I nurture every aspect of my body. You have to if you want to live a happy, healthy life. You just can't be out here doing any and everything, because you gonna pay for that, and it's gonna catch up with you very quickly. Yep, I don't do tilapia either. That there was an article about how unhealthy that tilapia is. And listen, the only thing I was really eating was salmon, but I read a article that, and only in the US, all these laws in the US, regulations that are illegal in these other countries, I'm very upset about when it comes to food and chemicals that they put in food. They passed a law, and Google this, y'all, so you can become up to date, to where that they could manufacture artificial salmon, but we won't know it, that it's artificial in the United States. It comes to the point to where, for real, you want to grow, you want to be able to grow your food. I don't want to buy or get nothing from nobody. With truck driving here, there is 2 million people dealing with solents. What's that? Solents? Trucking drivers have a lot going on. I know it's a lot going on with that food. And I know it's a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be eating. And I know one thing that I'm regretful of, because my grandmother always had a little garden in her backyard, and my father, God rest his soul, he always kept a small garden. He from, my father and grandmother migrated from the South, so they grew up on farms and things of that nature. And he always, like, they believed in eating things from its organic state. Excuse me. Wait a minute. And I really wish I would have took the time to learn how to farm for real, because the stuff that they put in this food and the way that they manufacture it, it's a slow but a sure death, in my opinion. Um, and I want to be able to control what I consume. I know I looked up, I think Costco, they actually have like some indoor plantings that you can do, like grow your own herbs and stuff. Like some of it, like I'm really off into like growing some of my own stuff, because we don't know what we're getting anymore, and it's scary. Um, Nomadic, long distance trucking is a very isolating career. Yeah, it is, because you're always on the road. So, solence is the solitude that drivers live in, the mental mindset. Got you. Yeah, I understand now. Carrie, wait a minute. I missed one. Carrie, you said I keep my comments to myself. What you talking about? Can you expound on that for me? Um, there is a major mental problem going on with her. Is it? I didn't know that. I gotta look that up. Maybe that might be a good topic to discuss. Um, so why? Because you all are in the truck for so long and you're by yourselves. Is that what you're saying, Nomadic? How do you stay connected to the outside world? Um, Because I know a lot of times y'all live in them trucks for long periods, before you return home, especially if you're driving across country. I guess that would be because you're so detached from your families for periods of times. I'm a Brit, so I talk via Zoom to my family in UK. So you're here for on a work visa, or do you live here, Brit? Ricky, you ain't left the conversation yet, have you? I see we getting more people coming in. Again, we focus on mental health, healthy, supportive lifestyle, encouraging others mental health. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider to do so and become a part of a growing healthy community. You're welcome here. Um, got you. So, are you able to make it home often enough just to stay engaged? I guess that is a lonely life when you're so far from your family in a whole another country. Number one, and then you have an isolating job. I could see how that could impact your mental health. I will offer you a suggestion though. A lot of therapy sessions happen on Zoom anymore, like how we having this interaction on this phone. You can set up some therapy sessions on your phone. Maybe you should tap into therapy just so you can have those emotional check-ins with somebody that's objective and make sure that everything is in place for you to maintain a healthy mental mind state. Y'all said, Nomad, you have friends here in the US on your downtime. Yeah, do you have friends here on your downtime? Yeah, I mean in the US, I'm sure you. What do you mean as far as you abide by American rules? Gotcha. I forgot you working out too, Ricky. See, I'm so used to you being engaged. Don't mind me, Ricky. Sorry to hear that you lost your marriage, but it ain't the end of the world. Life does go on. A lot of us in here, we have dealt with adversity, and that's what makes this such a therapeutic and authentic environment, because we focus on mental health. We focus on sharing and being supportive and adopting a healthy lifestyle, because life does go on. Life happened to me in 2019. I ended up in um extensive therapy from high stress, um, toxic environments and relationships, diagnosed with PTSD, every stage of it. And life happens to all of us, but we make a conscious decision that we worth resolving our issues. And when we can't do it ourselves, we encourage and support going getting help. And I encourage you to do that, because you're worth it and you matter, and you need to do whatever you can to make sure that you sustain and live a happy, healthy life, because you deserve it. And I need you to know that. Oh, you about to leave the gym? Okay. I stayed out for a month roughly, but being on immigrants, we are alone. Yeah, I bet you are alone. Being a foreigner here on their own in this country is extremely hard. I know it is, and my heart go out to you. But I mean, you definitely have to be cautious of people. But there are good people out there. But I definitely invite you to do the FaceTime with therapy. That is helpful. Um, and join a why, being on the road, like Ricky, he exercising right now. We interacting, but he's handling his business. He still get his exercise in. Join a YMCA or something, where you could get exercise in, because being in those semis for long periods of time, I know impacts your body. And being 55, you gotta move that body to stay healthy. And also it'll expose you if you join, a fitness center. Um, you can interact with others and then get, that exercise in. We have to help ourselves. I mean, we can't stay in a place, you know, of disadvantage, even though the life deals us a lot of obstacles to overcome. But you got to make a decision that you're worth it. And You got to do something about it. Carrie says, I'm 5'9" and I weigh 183 pounds. My doctor told me I was obese. I told her, I guess I'll be obese. I know that's right, Carrie. You said you fine with where you are. Yeah, some of this stuff, like, I can't be as small as you want me to be now. We deal with druggies, prostitutes. Oh yeah, because at them truck stops, etc., knocking on our door, but you stay quiet. I understand. Yeah, and you can't, and definitely don't engage with them people because they got their own problems. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. And a lot of people mentally, ain't a lot of them. Those are unhealthy people, and you can't be subject to such hazardous conditions. But therapy can help with that. I invite you to take time and make an appointment. You worth it, and do that for yourself. I've been there. I'm speaking from what I know. Make your appointments just so you can talk to somebody that's trained and skilled, that you can just share your thoughts and your feelings with, that's objective, and it's a safe space. Do that for yourself, Britt. That's how we do it over here in America, and we need you to get with it. Um, Talk to somebody because your life matters, and we need you to understand that. Oh, lizard lots, yeah. Them prostitutes and them people hanging out at them truck stops. Tell the truth, y'all. Listen, most of us that's in this chat, we know each other. We connect with each other on a regular basis. Tell the truth, y'all. Don't y'all feel like we family, like we are on the internet, but we definitely have built a connection, and it's just a beautiful thing. When I think back at my challenges in 2019 and how I had to end a lot of relationships to get healthy, and I wanted a new environment. I wanted positive people that I can engage with, that I could grow with, and that can help me grow, that can pour into me. And look, when I took it to God, he moved on my behalf, and here we are, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm just grateful that y'all here on this journey with me. I don't think anything's by chance. Matter of fact, I know it ain't. And it's a blessing to have y'all a part of this community and grow with me, and I'm just thankful for y'all. Just want to give y'all love and some flowers at this moment, because my heart felt some happiness, and I wanted to share it. You have to realize a Brit is brought up with no weapons, etc., coming to U.S. totally opposite. Yeah. Uh, well, we wasn't brought up with weapons either. This is all accelerated. The U.S. I was talking about that earlier when my mother was on the platform. How much this world has changed, and it's always ever changing, but it has changed very aggressively and quickly in the last decade, and it's somewhat troubling. Yes, AJ. Amen. Yeah, we found you. Y'all got that right. We absolutely are. Carrie said anything with a tomato base gives me heartburn. Me too, Carrie. You Carrie 52. Listen, it start that food start kicking my butt in my mid 30s. And once those conditions start, you don't go back. You make a decision. Either I'm gonna live a healthy, clean lifestyle, and monitor the type of foods I eat, or I'm gonna be on medicine and I'm gonna let this food kill me silently. And that's just the reality of what's going on out here in these streets. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I feel like a commercial. But you know what? I am passionate about this platform, and I want to take this platform, to where we ain't just on this internet. We cut like events and community, like, and the beautiful part, these things can happen. So if you aren't a part of this community, you don't want to miss out. Subscribe to the channel because we're going somewhere. Nomadic. When in Rome, better stay strapped. You ain't right, that you right. When in Rome, do as the Romans. You got that right. Um, I don't think we no. And I know Britain is more conservative than the US. And most of us here don't want guns, but you know what? When money rules, and with people with that cash, yeah, follow what average logical thinker said. Hit that subscribe button. help grow this community of healthiness. Um, it's a lot going on with them guns though, and unfortunately, it's troubling and it's just like out of control. So I get it, but Britt, make sure that you make you take time out seriously. You got a lot of time while you're on the road. Make you a therapy appointment. You can check in and attend right there from the comforts of your cell phone, and it's very effective. I had spent many sessions on my phone with my therapist, and it was very helpful. It helped me resolve a lot of my loneliness. I went through a lot of loneliness during the pandemic. I went months without seeing anybody, and it was very lonely. And then I got sick, and on top of being sick and coming out of that sickness, had to nurture myself, back to health on my own. Like it was a lot of struggles, but I made a decision that I was worth it, and I did something about it. So I'm just telling you what I know. Pick up that phone. You got even apps where you can check in, um, make that call. Talk to somebody so you make sure your mind and your heart is in order. Um, it's a choice. Make sure you choose you. Make that appointment today. Don't wait. Exactly. Yeah, I did. My therapy through the video. Carrie sends, she's praying for you, no matter, we all praying for you, but we need you to care about you because we can't care about you more than you care about yourself. So we need you to do the right thing and make sure you talk to somebody and get the help that you need to resolve, these moments in time where we struggle a little bit, but you can overcome it. That's for sure. We can't carry weapons as I'm an over the road truck driver, and weapons is not allowed. I got you. And plus, you're a foreigner, so you don't want to do anything that break the law. You're over here working, so we get it. Just be careful out there, and stay safe, and be very mindful of your surroundings and the people you deal with, and make that appointment so you can get to your health checks, mentally and physically, because you're a truck driver. A lot of sitting, a lot of time alone. You know what to do. You grown. We want you to come back and follow up with us and let us know how you're doing now. Um, we are told if we are hijacked, we give the keys. Yeah, we told that too. Um, rules apply to everybody. Get the keys and run. Uh, and I believe in. I ain't gonna only give you keys. I'm getting out. If you want me to go with you, we're gonna just finish it up right here because I ain't going nowhere with you. I got better chances of standing my ground by staying than taking a trip down the road with you. No, I ain't going. So whatever you're gonna do it either now or later. I'm gonna deal with it now because I ain't going nowhere with you. But yeah, you'll be all right. Just stay vigilant and take care of yourself so you can stay well. That's the end goal for all of us. Ain't that right, y'all? But I tell you what, uh, there's definitely a lot going on out here. I come across a lot of interesting information on this internet, and it keeps me active. It keeps me engaged because I went through a period where I was disengaged and lonely, sad, and sick, and I made a decision I didn't want to live like that. And it's all about choices. We all make choices, and just as much as I come on here and I ramble on, y'all help me in a lot of ways to maintain my mental state, um, and my desire and realization that anything's possible when you put your mind to it. That's why we here today. I had a thought. I made a decision that I wanted to help somebody in the process of helping myself to get well. And I have started to develop relationships with a lot of beautiful people. And it's a beautiful thing when you go from a thought to realization. Um, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. And I enjoyed y'all. And I'm going to just take a 5-second moment of silence in honor of Bob Barker. And I'm going to do that now. May Bob Barker rest in peace. And um, I'm grateful for all the memories I have that he's attached to. Memory lane is a blessing. And he was a big part of my childhood. I'm going to wrap this up for tonight, y'all. But let me tell y'all this. If nothing else, always choose yourself. And today might not be the best day, but every day is a blessing. I learned that along the way. I also learned that if nothing else, when God wakes me up, that's all I need. And I can carry the torch for the rest of that moment. I never will give up on myself because I'm never alone. You're never alone. Um, God is always there. If you don't know him, I invite you to uh, to get to know him. He saved my life. He helped guide me to reach out and have the courage to come on this platform and think authentically. So make sure that you spend some time with him. He can do some miraculous things. I'm living proof of what he can do. And I want y'all to stay safe. I thank you all for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence. You you help me be alive, and interacting with authentic, beautiful people um, is a blessing. And you all are a blessing to me in my life. And I hope that I am one of you. And we'll do this again. Y'all know I ain't going nowhere. Have a wonderful night. And I'll see y'all the next time. God's blessings. I'm going to just go through these comments. So, everybody, see y'all real soon. Have a good night, y'all.